Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday Live from Homebuilt Workshop. We are back and ready to hang out. Coffee in hand. I hope you guys are doing well. You got something tasty to drink, coffee, some sort of beverage, or whatnot. Settle in. Let's hang out for a while and get caught up on some stuff that's going on around here. Sorry if you guys happen to hear some sirens. I don't know, they just got quiet. There was just some sirens like racing by, so I don't know what's going on, but sorry about the noise there. GP Black, good morning. Good morning, my friend. How are you this fine Wednesday? Hope things are going well for you and everybody else. And I am happy to be here, happy to be hanging out with you guys. It's been a bit of a week here since we last talked. Those of you that were able to tune in last week, I got some updates for you shortly. Gina's here. Good morning. Good morning, Gina. How are you this fine morning? How's everything going over there? So, let's catch up a little bit from last week. Gina said, I think this week lasted a month. Yes, it does. Let's get to that before we get to other shop type stuff. GP says, excellent. My nieces and in-laws live in Peyton as well. Really? Oh, that's cool. You don't have to tell me where, but that's pretty awesome. We're not right in Peyton. We're in the Peyton area. But yeah, that's cool. They're neighbors. That's awesome. Epperson Woodworking, what's up, brother? How's it going? Top of the morning. John's here. John says hello. Hello, John. So anyway, really quick, just want to cover a couple things. Those of you that tuned in last Wednesday, you'll know I did the live. It was on Facebook last week. You'll know that I did it inside because Haley was homesick from school. And yeah, she had kind of a rough time. I don't know, the flu. I kind of feel like maybe that's what it was, but it was pretty rough. She had kind of a rough day on Wednesday and then started feeling better on Thursday. But Thursday evening, guess what? This guy right here ended up getting sick with the same thing. Then Gina got it on Friday. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Really super sick for a couple days. Really didn't start to feel, a ton better until around Sunday. But even still, I'm not 100%. I don't have like all my energy back. Whatever it was brutal, guys. I hope you guys all stay healthy. Hopefully don't get the flu because I feel like that's what it was, but I don't know. I didn't go to a doctor, didn't get a diagnosis or anything like that. But man, 2 days of being really sick and then a few days of recovery. Like I mentioned, I still wasn't 100%. So didn't get a whole lot of work done. I mean, there was probably about a good 4 days at least that I didn't make it out here to the shop at all. I finally got out here a little bit. Was it Sunday? I came out here for a few minutes, but didn't really do any work. It wasn't until really Monday, I think, I got out here and started to get a little bit of stuff done. And yeah, I had high hopes. Once I started feeling better, I was hoping I was going to come out here and just start banging out some projects because I got stuff ready to go. But it just, I'm not fully there yet. So it was a tough one, guys. I hope you stay healthy. If you do vitamins or vitamin C or you do any sort of thing, double up on it because I don't want you guys to get this. It was rough. It was rough. Poor Conservatives here. What's up, my friend? Good morning, Jeff and all. What is going on? Hopefully you're healthy. I hope. Epperson says, that sucks. We have strep over here. Oh, man, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. I had that, was it 2 years ago? I had strep really bad. Actually landed me a night in the hospital, if you can believe that. It was not cool. So take it easy, man. Don't let it go and go and go. If it doesn't seem to get better, try to see if you can get some sort of treatment or something. Because I had the infection, whatever it was, virus, whatever it was, moved down, like around my heart. I forget what there's a name for it. They called it something. And honestly, it caused like chest pains and made my arm feel numb. So instantly, guess what? I thought I was having a heart attack, or the doctors. That's what they thought, and it was bad. It sucked. But Andrew's here. What's up, Andrew? Hey, my friend. Andrew says, hey, everyone. Andrew, good to see you, buddy. Poor Conservator says, healthy and a winner. Right on, right on. I hope you guys all are. It's been a rough week around here. I'll tell you that. Things started to pile up, and I think the worst part for me was, being sick is a drag anyway. But Haley had this first. My daughter Haley, if you guys don't know, she got sick first. So by the time she was starting to feel better, that's when we got sick. So the poor kiddo, she's like feeling ready. She's feeling good and she's ready to go around, and we're like dying. Ugh. So yeah, she had to kind of do her own thing for a little while, and she did good. She hung in there, got everything. Nothing caught on fire, nothing like that, and it was all right. But, let's see. Epperson says, funny thing is, I never got a sore throat at all. Really? Mine was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Frank says, glad you're better. Yeah, thanks, Frank. I appreciate that. I am super glad, because it was a butt kicker. I'll tell you that. But we're still on the. At least I feel like I got a little bit of recovery to go. So, yeah, we're getting there. But I'm out here in the shop. I've been trying to get out here, get some stuff done, and try to feel like I need to get caught up. We'll get there. It's all good. You can't, nothing really you can do to, speed up the recovery time other than rest and relax. And I feel like I did enough of that. Coffee. Yeah. Gina said we slept for 2 days and she played quietly even. It was great. Yes, she did. She did really good. It was awesome. So anyway, sickness and health stuff out of the way. What are you guys working on? You guys got anything in the works? Any projects you got going on? Andrew said Corona. Yeah, coronavirus. I guess it's not really over here in the U.S., but I wouldn't be surprised if I come down with it. It seems like if history repeats itself, I always get the weird sicknesses. You guys remember a while back when the West Nile virus, this was probably 15 years ago or something. Do you guys remember hearing about that? West Nile, the mosquitoes and all that? I got that really bad. That was a tough one. What else? I've got the, remember when that, what is that? Peter Pan peanut butter had the, what is that? Not E. coli. What is that? Salmonella. Guess who got that? Me. And then of course I had strep a couple years ago that landed me in the hospital. Always the weird stuff. I don't know. Gina says, tell your boss that you need sick pay. Yeah, I had a long talk with that guy, and he was pretty firm on his decision. Was no. Andrew says, building a drill cabinet for a mate. Cool. This guy back here, that's on my list at some point that I need to redo that. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do. But, yeah. Frank says, I don't get the flu shot anymore because I get the flu within days of the shot. I'm up in the air on that thing. I don't have a problem getting it. In fact, I did get it this year, and I was still sick. So, yeah, I don't think it makes much of a difference. But, I mean, maybe it knocked off some of the other, maybe it would have been worse. Who knows? I don't know. You never know with those things. Janine says, I'm knitting a sock. Not really. Workshop project, though. Doesn't matter. Oh wait, I'm skipping some comments here. Sorry guys. Sorry about that. Um, GP says custom building a zero clearance insert for my old table saw. I've set out to do that on my saw a few times, but mine is so strange. It's not like I can just cut a piece that fits. There's like weird notches and nonsense under there. I don't know. It's kind of complicated. Gina, salmonella. Yeah, I had that. And then Janine, the sock knitting. Doesn't matter if it's a workshop project. It's just something you're working on. It could be, anything. Anything you're working on is a project. It doesn't have to be just because I'm sitting in a little workshop space. It could be anything. Sitting in the house doing whatever. It doesn't matter. You're building something, and that's awesome. I don't have a clue how to knit. Once upon a time, like when I was younger, I mean like maybe 10-ish, something like that. I like my grandma used to crochet a lot, and I learned how to do that with the little crochet hook thingy. I couldn't tell you how to do it now, but I do remember being able to do that. Poor Conservative says, too many projects, not enough hands. But it's not a bad thing. Yeah, I got a few things going on right now. Trying some new stuff. Well, something that I've got limited experience in anyway. Where'd it go? I can't find my little piece. Anyway, I'm working with some leather right now, and we'll see how it goes. This is probably going to be my most ambitious leather project to date. Not that I've got a whole lot of them under my belt, but working on some of that. I got a piece drying here, trying to do a little bit of shaping. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. I think it's going to be fine. I don't know if it's not going to be perfect, I'm sure, but it's going to be 100% useful, and I'm going to be happy with it. I can already tell. CLB, Allendale Guitars. That's why I moved to Florida to do framing. Too cold framing up north. Yeah, it gets cold up there. Making sure I'm not missing some comments here, guys. I want to mention something real quick. Something that I've never had happen before, but I want to throw it out there. I think it was last week. It wasn't on YouTube here. This was on the Facebook. I believe it was the Facebook live stream. Some people had trouble with the comments, and then I'll get caught back up here when I'm done. Some people had trouble with the comments, and they were not showing up in the stream. I know Harry Dude was on here, and he mentioned that at first, and then he switched accounts, and it worked okay. But also after, and I don't have the guy's name because I wanna give him an apology publicly. I mean, I already told him that, but he sent me a message afterwards and said he was feeling bad, and that I was ignoring him throughout the whole stream. And dude, if you happen to catch this, man, like I mentioned in the message, I am sorry about that. I did not see any of those comments in there. I hope most of you guys know I don't ignore anybody. I try to interact with all of the comments. I don't care who's in here. If you leave a comment, I will try to get to it. That's why I'm always messing with this thing. I don't want to miss comments. But if you guys happen to notice issues like that, feel free to send me a message and let me know. Maybe it's not working, or but man, I really felt bad about that because that is not my intention to leave anybody out. You guys know that I like to try to keep this pretty open. I don't have any structure. I just want it to be like we're hanging out, sitting around the table, or hanging out at just hanging out, just BSing and shooting the breeze with each other. So it is never my intent to leave anybody out of that. So again, I apologize if you've had any sort of issues like that. But I feel like it was an issue related to the Facebook stream last week, but I don't know. But anyway, now with that out of the way, Wags is here. Wags says, hey now, what's up, Wags? Andrew says, I have to get the flu shot every year due to my immune system being weak due to all the chemo. I totally get that, and I'm kind of familiar with that. I know how that process kind of weakens you, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the flu shot. I've gotten it a few years, and there's some years that I haven't gotten it, and but GP says, mine too. I spent a few hours carving up an MDF clipboard. MDF, oh, Cool. Oh, for the yeah. For the zero clearance. You know, that's a good idea. It's already nice and thin. Good call on that. Lynn says, absolutely. Anything to keep my brain busy. Yeah. See, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Epperson, we started building a table that can do multiple things, trying to figure out how to mount my router to it. Um, uh, depends on what you're going to use for a router. You can buy, those router bases. Some of them are not too expensive. Some of them get kind of pricey. Like I did, I mounted a router in my drill press router table 2 years ago. I've got a video back on my channel if you haven't seen it, where I took a Bosch Colt router and just recessed the base plate up in there, a couple screws. It worked really well. It's nothing super fancy, but man, I love that little table. Gina says chemo. To Andrew, are you on chemo now? That was in the past, I believe, right? Yeah. Yes. Okay. There's Andrew's. No, finished 3 years ago and in remission. Yeah, brother. Got this. Got this. Poor conservative. Yes, leather. Got 3 holsters going and 2 knife sheaths on the leather bench. Yes. And I almost reached out to you because I know you. I believe it was you that said, "Hey, hit me up if you need some tips." I'm going to see how this one goes first. But don't laugh at me because this is really only my second project. It's going to be a video, of course, but I'm definitely having fun and kind of fumbling along and trying to do some wet forming, and it's going to work. It's going to work. I guess that's the cool thing. Even something like leather, I'm not super skilled in. Many of you guys are way more skilled with stuff like that in different areas and things than I am. But that is how I learn. I like to ask questions when it comes up, but I like to try to do my best to just go through, get it done, and I learn as I go. Depending on how you look at it, that may or may not be the best thing. It definitely sometimes can take longer to learn things that way, but it's how I roll, I guess. It's the first one I did was I don't even have them out here. It was like last summer, just a small little leather project, just to kind of get my feet wet, figure out the tools and things that I'm going to need, and now I'm doing this project, and I'm pretty excited, really. I think it's gonna be pretty awesome. Gino, good. SK Tree 72. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning. Good morning, XK Tree 72. Andrew, nice. Poor conservative. Yes, the leather. It's definitely something that I want to get a lot better at. So I already have, as I'm going through this project, I can already think of several more projects that I want to do because I had to buy what would it be, a quarter side, I think, of leather? It wasn't a half. It was maybe a quarter. And so as long as I don't screw up this, some parts to this, I'm going to have plenty left over. So there's already some things that I know that I want to build on the future. I want to build a wallet. I'm just kind of brainstorming here with you guys right now. I really like those minimal. Have you guys seen those minimalist wallets where they're just basically a card holder that they say is like a front pocket wallet? I like those because they're small and slim, but I wouldn't ever carry a wallet in my front pocket because I already have my front pockets are already claimed by stuff. So I always stick with my back pocket, but I want to try to come up with one that's a little slimmer, maybe a little thinner kind of leather. I'm not sure yet on that one. It's still in the rough brainstorming. I don't think it'd be all that hard, but I want it. The part that's weird to me, a lot of those minimalist ones have just hold cards in, like if it has a money clip maybe, or you have to fold the cash. I like a bifold wallet. I don't know why. Is that old school? Maybe I'm holding card pockets. So that's the kind of design I'm not looking for, but I'm building in my head. So there you go. Inside scoop on some upcoming projects. GP says, spending time getting my old saw safer. I need to start building furniture for our nursery. Cool. Are you expecting? Congratulations on that. Yeah, it never hurts. Even on an old saw, if you get a zero clearance on there, and make sure everything's adjusted true and square, and even an old saw will work. It'll work good. Keep those fingers. Lynn, let something you're not skilled in stop you from doing it. I don't care what it is. Nothing. Try it. If you want to try it, try it. Do your homework. Have somewhat of an understanding. As best as you can. Enough to, especially if it's a power tool thing, so you don't get hurt and all that. But be knowledgeable enough to not hurt yourself. But if there's some techniques and things in there, don't just go. Just do it. You can jump in and you can tackle anything. It is the challenge. Very well said, Lynn. Poor conservative. Only 6 months into leather here, but have had some great folks helping. Still not ready for prime time, but very happy with the stuff I'm building myself. Yeah, I'm nowhere near. And I haven't even been hardcore into it. It's like a little bit here, watch some videos, read some articles, try a little something. This one I'm doing right now is going to be so far the hardest one. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be all that hard, but there's a lot of steps. So I have to think. I'm going to have multiple layers. If I didn't have it clamped down right there, I'd show you kind of what I'm working on. But it's trying to dry, and you know what I mean. I got multiple layers, so I've got to plan out like, okay, these things have to be stitched before I can, attach this other portion. So if I attach the other portion, then I can't get in there to stitch it. So it's the order of process that I have to continually think through and make sure that I don't somehow miss some sort of step, and then I got to go back and try to figure out how to make it right. Andrew, a gimp mask, a leather gimp mask. Yeah. Poor conservative, I just bought a whole back from Weaver for $119. That sounds like a pretty good price for. Yeah, that's a pretty good price. I think that's less than I paid for a quarter. Even if I did the math. I got it from Tandy. We have a local Tandy. I gotta move this heater. I'm sitting right next to the heater because it's not super warm up here, but it's starting to cook my legs. Oof. We have a local Tandy, and I'm not trying to bash them, but I'm pretty disgusted with them right now. Mainly because they were closed yesterday. I drove all the way into town, and they were closed. Why? I don't know. Probably the weather or something, but the roads were clear. Was it snowing when I went there? It might have been snowing a little bit, but anyway, they were closed. So I spent an hour of my time, drove down there, and they weren't even open. So kind of disgusted. But we do have a local Tandy, and it is kind of nice to go and be able to bop in and grab what you need. I don't feel like they have the best prices, but yeah, they're local, so I will probably further after this project. I probably will start ordering some stuff because I kind of know a little bit more what I need now. But I'm in the middle of the project. There's a couple things I need. I don't really want to wait for it to come in. It's going to put the project on hold. Although I don't know. I gotta think about that. Harry Dude's here. Hey guys, what's up, Harry Dude? Welcome. Lynn, howdy. Poor conservative. Tandy is very expensive. That's kind of the impression that I got, and I'm not 100% familiar with prices through other vendors, but that's the impression that I get when I go in there, and I don't know. Like I said, it's nice to have them local. If you need something, you can get it right there. You don't have to worry about shipping or waiting for it to be delivered. But yeah, I kind of feel like they're expensive too. XK Tree says at 48, I recently bought my first sewing machine. Some people think it's weird that a guy wants to learn to sew. I don't feel it's weird at all. It's not. Don't let anybody tell you it's weird, because it's not. It's not weird. So what? I have a sewing machine. I know how to use it. Am I great at it? No, but I know how to use it, and I've done some little things on it, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. So don't let anybody discourage you Don't listen to the naysayers. Gina, howdy. Andrew, hi, dude. XK Tree, Lynn says XK Tree. So also, Giovanni's here. Giovanni says, good evening, my friend. Giovanni, how are you, brother? How are things? How are things going for you over there? Let's see. That's 9. What time is it right now? I think you're what? 8 hours? So if it's 9, is it 6 in the evening there or 8 in the evening? I'm not sure. Welcome, Giovanni. Lynn says I'm 55, so it's not real crazy. Andrew, go for it, XK Tree. Yeah, do it. GP says XK Tree at needlepoint. My grandmother taught me when I was 10. I still feel connected to her 30 plus years later. That is cool. I remember my grandma showing me some of that stuff too. You know, where you do the little the thread, right? And that's where you do the pictures with the like different colored thread. That's the same thing, right? Yeah. Yeah, see guys, don't ever feel like, you know, you can't do something because it's weird for a dude to do that, or if it's weird for a woman to do that. It's, you guys don't get into that. Don't, you know, some people do. Some people will somehow make you feel kind of weird, and you don't need that kind of negativity. You want to do something, do it. XK Tree says, Lynn, I actually find it to be relaxing. Yeah, see, it does, and there you go. There's your reason right there. If you enjoy it, you find it relaxing, there's big zero. Nothing wrong with any of that stuff. So I'm serious, guys. Don't ever let anybody discourage you. Andrew says, hi, Giovanni. Janine, I teach a lot of my guy friends to sew. It's super handy. Yes. You know, you got a hole in your socks. Like us guys, we always have holes in our socks, right? You just sew it up. You don't have to get new socks. Wait, am I the only one that does that? Phil's here. Phil says, what's up, boss? What did I miss? It's Phil from PA. Welcome, Phil. How's things in Pennsylvania? Did you guys get, did we talk about snow last week or week before? I think my family got some snow. And Gina says he uses it more than me. Yeah, the sewing machine, I sure do. Giovanni. Lynn says, I used to crochet at 11 and watch football on the weekends. See? Nothing wrong with that. You do what you want. Gina says, mainly because I don't want to use it, I'd rather hand sew stuff. Yeah, I don't have time for that. I'd rather get in there, make a couple rounds with a sewing machine and be done with it. Giovanni, hi Andrew. XK Tree, GP, that's awesome. I know people that need a point. That takes talent. Andrew says, my great-great-great-grandmother used to knit at the guillotining. Chop. Oh, look at that. Is that the guillotining you're talking about? I guess I shouldn't assume. That's some good coffee. You know how do you guys make like a whole pot of coffee? I can tell that that's like the bottom of the pot though. It starts to get a little bit of a kind of a darker taste to it. That's where that's getting. I about emptied the pot when I filled that cup. Yeah, Andrew, yes, you got it. Chop. While you're over there knitting a sweater or something. That's funny. That's funny. Andrew, hairy dude, my Australian friends, is everything all okay over there, guys? Fire-wise, everything is calming down. I haven't heard a whole lot about it recently, but just wanted to see how things are going across the country or in your area. Let me know. I need an update. Fire update. Andrew says it's called the dregs, Jeff. The dregs? Really? Is that what that's called? The dregs? The guillotine stuff? The dregs? Huh. I learned something new. Andrew says fire is good, but now bad storms and floods. Oh boy. Yes, you know what? I think I mentioned to you, Andrew, maybe to a couple of you guys, that we had some fires several years ago nowhere near that level of what you guys had to deal with. And then after that, like the year afterwards, we got a bunch of rain, and they had a whole lot of floods and stuff because there's no vegetation, there's no growth, there's no nothing, nothing. There's no nothing there to catch the rainwater. So, man, it's one thing after another. Sorry, guys, that you are having to deal with those sorts of things. Have they started the cleanup? Some of the cleanup on the the fire damaged areas, or are they just going to leave it? I guess it probably depends on the area. Man, that's got to be a massive effort right there. Wow. Dregs. Oh, the fire. Hold on here. I'm missing. Harry Dude says, we've been copping a lot of rain in the last week or so. Janine says, oh, the coffee. The dregs of the pot. Oh, the bottom. Gotcha. Andrew, correct, Janine. Thanks, guys, for keeping me in line. Phil says, just finished my pot of Death Wish coffee. A little weird. What was weird about it? Is it like strong, just a different flavor? It's the dregs also in homebrewed beer, says Lynn. Interesting. I'm learning. Well, then I have the dregs of the coffee. Still tastes good, though. Just a little darker or whatever than normal, but Andrew says there's a major effort going on Kangaroo Island trying to save all the burned and injured koalas. Gosh. I have seen some of that stuff, and I think it's cool. They're trying to help the animals like that. I don't remember too much when we had our local fires here. Any sort of real efforts. I'm sure I know we lost wildlife, but I don't remember any sort of thing like that because I think they could run out of there, like deer and stuff like that. Janine, oh man, I love that brand of coffee. It's a unique flavor for sure. That's not something I've ever tried. Phil says no, wired, like on speed. You're like, and strong, Janine says. Yep. Giovanni, then we take off the cap. Show your sexiest part. My head? You're gonna look at it, it's gonna blind you. Ah! You don't want to see that. That's why I wear this thing all the time. My head gets cold. I don't have any hair. There you go, Giovanni. That was for you. Kathleen, good morning, Jeff and everyone. Hope all is well. Beautiful day here in New York. Nice. I'm glad things are going well for you there. Giovanni, woo! Did you see when I took the hat off, like it overexposed the camera? Don't worry, guys. As the weather gets warmer, you will get to experience the no beanie again. Andrew, bald is beautiful, man. I don't have a problem with it. It's just cold. I have no problem going without my hat. But when it's cold, my head's cold. I don't know. That's one thing. I can't be outside. I don't know. Cold weather, I got to have that beanie on. I've got it on mostly in the house. I've got it on outside, in the shop, almost every time, no matter what. In the wintertime, really, the fall, winter, most of the spring, I've got a beanie on because my head just gets cold. But this summertime, don't worry. You will see me without the beanie. Phil says that reminds me I need to shave my head. Do you do a razor? Because I don't go that far. I just I use clippers with no guard and just buzz it down, so it's like, what is that? Not even 1/8 of an inch. Lynn says, what's the temp there in New York? to Kathleen. Kathleen, that'd be a question for you. Oh, there it is. Look at that, right below. Right around the low to middle 40s. Gotcha. All right. Giovanni, life is disgusting. Let's have 2 laughs that it's better. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, we gotta laugh. We gotta laugh. There's nothing to be. Don't be, don't be so serious. How fun would this be if we're all just like, we gotta laugh and smile with each other, right? Encourage each other. That's why I tell you guys, you want to do something, do it. Don't let the naysayers bring you down. We don't have time for that. Phil says, yeah, razor. I did that. No, I never did with a actual razor. I did it with an electric razor one time, and it just took a long time, and I don't want to, I don't know. I can't take the time to actually go in there with a razor. Like my head's not even really, this is kind of weird. My head's not really even lumpy, but I don't know. I just don't like the time it takes. I think one time though, what I want to do, and if you've ever done it, tell me if it's worth it. Once when maybe my hair gets kind of long, I need to trim, this little bit, and I kind of want to go to a barber sometime and have the barber do everything. Kind of straight razor, the whole, whatever they do anymore. I don't even know what they do, but I just think it'd be kind of cool just to get a whole shave and everything from like an actual barber. I don't know why. Lynn says, heat wave. It's 14 degrees here in Wyoming. Oh, it's a little chilly up there, Lynn. We are, I'm down south of you there. Down here around Colorado Springs. And I think the sun's kind of poking out there a little. So it might be warming up. It was about 20 when I took the kiddo to school this morning. But it might be a little warmer now. But yeah, it's been, especially the mornings, it's been chilly here. Did you get any of that snow? Was it yesterday? Did you guys get snow up there? Because we got 6 or 8 inches yesterday. It was actually really nice because there was no wind. Usually we get blizzards, and I can't stand them. It rarely snows. Those of you in other parts of the country, namely the Northeast, Phil, you'll be able to relate. Although not so much anymore. But remember how in wintertime it would just snow. Just snow. Rarely would you have a whole lot of wind. But that's what we got. Like all day yesterday was great. It was cool. Kathleen said, Andrew says, a day without laughter is a day wasted. Yeah, buddy. We got to have fun. Got to have some fun and smile and, do some fun stuff. Kathleen says, whoa, chilly. Gina said it looked weird too. Yeah, when I shaved my head. Oh no, Giovanni says, today I got my electricity bills. Oh no. Electricity bills in wintertime are never fun. Never. GP says, cold in North Carolina, 50 degrees. Yeah, I mean, if you don't normally get that cold down that way. North Carolina, I haven't been there in a lot of years. It's probably, I can't remember. I think I've got, do I have family? No, not in North Carolina. I got friends who live in South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia. I don't think West Virginia. I don't know. I have some family that lives in some of those states around there, but I don't think I have anybody in North Carolina. Lynn says, absolutely smile, help, encourage, and most important, enjoy life and projects. Exactly. Yes. Yep. Phil says, going to barber is awesome. With the hot towel and all, you should try it definitely. Cool. Good to know. Yeah, that's kind of, the little shaving brush and the, I don't know. That's what I want to try sometime. Yep. Lynn says, yes, snow but light. Only about a half an inch. Yeah, we had a nice snow down there. One thing that's still, I've lived out here almost 20 years in Colorado from Pennsylvania. And one thing that's still weird to me, and I know it has a lot to do with the mountains, I totally understand it, but it's still strange. So back east, and Phil, you'll probably be able to relate, and Kathleen, you too. It seems like when you get a snowstorm, it's over a whole state kind of thing. Generally speaking, like it's over a really broad area. You get the lake effect snow that comes off the lakes, and then you get, you get all the, what is it, the nor'easters, and it covers a large portion of the Northeast. Out here, they're very local. It's really weird. Like it could be snowing like crazy here, and seriously, a couple miles away, it could be clear, and it's very, very different. Usually it covers more than a couple miles, but I've seen it happen where it's blazing snow here. You drive up the road to the grocery store, and it's nothing. There's no snow. It's totally strange, and I know it's the whole mountains and the way the currents and air and but it's definitely a weird thing to have it so random. And rain is the same way. Pouring rain here, you can see across the way that it's sunny. Anyway, what else? What else? Oh, I still feel kind of tired. It's very strange. I don't like that recovery after being sick. Poor conservative. Leather question, I guess. One thing I still need to get is a bevel tool. And that's actually what I was going to grab yesterday at Tandy. After I drove all the way down there. Is there a certain size that you'd recommend over another? I guess there's different sizes. But anyway, I need a bevel because I'm going to need to bevel a couple edges on this project I got going on. If there's a certain one, if it doesn't, maybe it doesn't matter really. But just give me your 2 cents. GP says it's the proximity of oceans that make for the larger size snow events. That makes 100% sense. Huh. That makes perfect sense. Pulls the air, and you got the Great Lakes in the Northeast, and that makes sense. Yeah. Now Phil says, yeah, I remember a couple years back we got that 2 foot of snow overnight. Yeah. Lynn says, drags down. Time for a fresh cup. Right here. I'm hearing noises out there. What's going on? I don't know. Hazy Days. Yo, dude. What's up, Hazy Days? Welcome. Len says, how do you guys cut rawhide? I don't have a good method. You mean just like regular leather, right? I'm honestly not. I got to. That's somewhere where I need to improve the my process a little bit, because if you watch YouTube videos, you see guys using like the head knife, that big curved thing, and I might have to get one of those because if it really works as well as it looks like it does, because I've seen other people using stuff like an X-Acto knife. Well, the leather that I'm working with is a 6-7 ounce. And this does not cut through it very well. And I have to go over it and over and over, and it's a brand new blade. So I grabbed one of these little blades here, and it does a little bit better, but I still have to make multiple cuts. Now what I'm not sure is in the edit, when you're watching other leather workers, if they're editing out a lot of the slicing, or if their knives are actually cutting all the way through. But this is what I've been trying for the project I'm working on right now, and it works. But I feel like there's got to be something better. Now this one, all I have is this really small blade. You can see that? I don't have any of the full blades, and that might be contributing to why I'm having trouble with it. But it works. Just be careful. I've been using a straight edge, and it feels there's the chance for it to pull away. So I'm trying to pull toward the straight edge so that it doesn't wander, and you don't want it to jump the straight edge and you run it across your fingers. I mean, just be safe, be careful, be cautious. I don't feel that either one of these, personally, not being a super experienced with it yet, neither one of them's working great for me, but they're working, and that's what I'm using right now. I do kind of want to try that half moon shaped knife because they look cool, but they seem like they work really well. So, but I have no experience in them, so I can't speak for those things. Let's see. Hazy Day says that tape is taking up way too much wall space. I know. It is. It is. But I use it a lot of the different kinds. Pork Conservator says number 3 is the most common. Oh, cool. I will. That's probably what I'll grab then. Oh wait, sorry, I missed here another comment. Lynn, I'm making a replica flint knife and want to wrap the handle with rawhide to shrink it down tight when dry. Oh, that'll be cool. Yeah, I would use a straight edge and an X-Acto knife or a utility knife of some sort. I've seen people use like a regular size utility knife. That might work better too. A little bigger, easier to hang on to. Janine says, I know many people who just use sharp utility knife blades, heavier than an X-Acto, but definitely depends on thickness. Yeah, utility knife might work. Phil says, I wish I could find someone to make me a nice tool belt from leather or rawhide. Well, that may be on my list, a tool belt. I don't think the leather I have right now, I don't think is long enough. I'd have to buy another piece. But what I'm making right now is a tool pouch that I'm hoping will work with an existing belt that I have. But if it doesn't, I'm going to probably make a new belt for it. So it's possible. There's got to be some people, you don't know anybody around there that does leather work. Try, do you have any sort of like equestrian horse farms or anything like that around there? Someone that does like saddles and tack repair kind of thing, most likely could, they might know somebody or be able to use, or to do some leather work. So, I mean, just an idea. See if there's anybody around there, we call up. Pork Conservator says, I bought a cheap 3-piece set from Amazon, but they work great. Of the bevelers, 3-piece, different sizes. Lynn says, the rawhide I got is thick and thin. Thick and thin? So I was kind of wondering, damp or dry? Once you wrap it. So you're probably going to cut it dry, wet it, wrap it, secure it, everything, and then let it dry, and it should shrink, I believe. Epperson says, you got more aliens outside. I see you looking that way. No, I kept hearing some noise out there, and the wind has picked up, so I kind of think maybe it's just like clanging some stuff around. So I don't know. No aliens. And the aliens, if you haven't seen, are what he's referring to in the latest YouTube video where I was setting up the Alaskan mill. At the very end, where it's showing me saw the large logs, where I was talking about like safety and that sort of thing. Right at the end, the sun was behind the camera, so it was shining the shadow right down on the board, and it looks like an alien because, oh hey look, because it's it's got the microphone on the top, and it was just shining a shadow, and it was kind of funny. I saw that when I was editing it, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it. It's kind of fun. Hey, Hazy Days, I will do a vid soon to show my tape wreck. Oh, cool, yeah. I'd like to see it. I might have to try some different options. Poor conservative. I use an X-Acto with a large quarter round blade. I can't use the big half moon blades. Sam Andrews uses a heavy flat blade knife. It all depends on your comfort. I work 8 to 9 ounce. Can't use the big half moon blades. Heavy flat blade. I feel like, again, I've never used the big half moon thing. I can see myself getting cut on those. I like the controllability of the X-Acto. Just this, it's got to be the blade, because there's not much of a cutting surface there. But actually, I can even see wear on it if I look at it. This is brand new. It only made a couple cuts. It's got to be because that blade's so small. I have to try some different knives, maybe different X-Acto knife. Like I said, I'm using 6 to 7 ounce. So I mean, it's kind of thick, but it's not the thickest. And I couldn't imagine trying to cut something thicker with that. So I gotta look into other options. Harry Dude says, surprised you're not making guitar straps with Haley guitars on them to go with the guitars you make and sell. Yes, I would like to make some straps. I think, as I saw down below, Gina said that. It's on his list. Yes, I would like to. But I got to learn. There's too many things I got to learn to do different stuff. Phil says, not sure, but that's a great idea. Thanks. Yeah, about the equestrian stuff. Trying to think of other options. I bet you could probably call some people around there. Maybe somebody else that you could look for. Maybe if you know any farriers, like a horseshoer, they could probably give you some. Not that they do the leather, but maybe they do. But they could probably tell you other places. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of people you might call if you needed some more references or whatever. Poor conservative, I'll send you the link in IG. Cool. Yes, I'd like to check that out. Gina, that's on his list. Yep. Epperson, LOL. Epperson says, well, I'll catch you all next week. My phone won't stop ringing today. Yeah. Hopefully that's a good thing. Hopefully those are orders or work or something like that. So thanks for tuning in, buddy. And we'll catch you next week. Next week we'll be on Facebook. Same time, same channel. Unless we have any sort of weather delay. Which is possible. We've had so many snow days from school this year that they've already started to implement procedures to make these days up. Like they've run out of snow days. And we're only in February. So, yeah. It's craziness. Poor conservative, I'll shoot you a link on the X-Acto too. Yes, definitely. I want to check those out. I've got a couple of them. Like a while back, I looked at some on eBay, and I think they're probably still in my cart. But I should go back and see if they are. Andrew says, yep. I'm going to bed, guys. See you all next week. Be safe and kind to each other. What's up? Right on. Got the... Right on, Andrew. Thanks, my friend. Stay safe. Stay well. Get some rest. And we'll see you next week, buddy. Take care. Have a great one. Everybody say bye to Andrew. Bye, Andrew. We'll go a little bit longer here, and probably begin to wrap this up. We're coming up on an hour, so we still got time. You guys want to chat about something? Let's see. Everybody sleep well, Andrew. See you, Andrew. Yes. Bye, Andrew. Man, I just got tired. Ugh. Come on, more coffee. I gotta get back to this leather when we're done here. Try to see if I can at least get some holes punched. Poor conservative. Do you have any tips offhand for making your needles easier to get through the holes? I'm using number 3s or no 3mm punches. The needles I'm having a hard time getting through. Like it was really hard, so I might have to go through and enlarge them with an awl or something. I feel like it's kind of technique on my part, but I don't know. Any tips? Wax thread everything. I don't know, I feel like it should go through a little easier than it does. GP says, any ideas for storage in a small shop space? Yes. This space that I am in is very, very small. It is a lot smaller than probably most of you really like. I don't know. I don't think you can get the full effect of how small this is. Um, I've had a few people come here to see it, or just to visit, friends and stuff, and they walk in and go, "Wow, I thought that I thought you had like a big space." I'm like, "Nope, this is it." Um, it depends on what you want to do. So you want to try to be as efficient in the use of your space as you can, and make use of pretty much everything. I have stuff, shelves on the wall. Use that wall space. Use the space under things. Like I have this toolbox here. The toolbox is pretty big, but there's tools in all of it. And I make even like there's a gap probably this tall underneath, 6 inches underneath, and it's about 40 inches wide. I make little rolling boxes that I can put stuff in, and it rolls under the toolbox. I utilize. You got to get creative. Look at things a little bit different. If we all had giant workspaces, you could have a room for everything to be out set up, but you've got to get creative. Find the space that you're not using, and if you have to, you got to build shelves under things. You could build risers for things, which will give you shelves to put under things. Like I'm looking at my drill press right now. I don't need to raise that one specifically, but you could build. I'm just looking at that. You could build like a riser, which would give you room for a drawer. I've got my drill bits all hanging on the wall, trying to get things off the. You can't have stuff on flat surfaces, because if yours is like mine, I have this little table back here and the table that's in front of me, and if those get cluttered up, I can't work. And a lot of times what happens when I'm working on the table right in front of me, which actually is a worktop that I say table, but it's actually a doubled up piece of 3/4 inch plywood that sits on top of my table saw. So when I'm working there, I'm actually working on top of my table saw, and I use this as kind of a prep staging area. The problem is that gets cluttered, and then when I'm working, I have nowhere to move things. So you've got to be conscious of that all the time, and just try to make the best use as you can. If you have the space, to move things in and out. I don't have room to move stuff in and out too often. I try to work outside when I can. I have got a table, a steel workbench outside that I use that a lot when the weather's good. Try to work outside. I'll even pick up the saw and wrestle it outside in the summer, nice weather. Try to work outside, but you've got to be deliberate with everything. I will come in here and I will just kind of sit and think of where, as I'm looking around, trying to figure out, like we talked about the tape rack a minute ago. I don't know where else I would put that, but there are some solutions that I'm sure are out there. You got to be creative. Lynn says, how about replacing a handle in an old shovel? I do have an old shovel that needs a new handle, so I'll probably do that at some point. I don't think there's much to it, but yeah, I probably will. I've got it stashed aside, and I saved it just for that. So, yeah, you might be in luck. Gina, you're looking at it. Yeah, the shop space. GP, I'm working in less than 12 by 12 with 3 mowers. Yeah, you should be able to make that work. Workbenches, build them up. You can put mowers, put stuff underneath them. Lynn says, the shovel was my grandfather's, and I was thinking of doing it by hand. Oh, what if you made the whole handle? Oh, that'd be cool. Get you a piece of like hickory or something. That would be pretty neat. Grab a spoke shave down a Shovel handle, that would be fun. Ooh, I might have to do that myself. I got an axe too that needs a handle. Can I find it? Ah! Not right now, I'm not going to try to find it. Poor Conservative says, smaller needle, a good stitching book. I use pliers on tight double stitch. Yeah, I got a feeling I'm going to be stuck with pliers because I'm going to be doing 3 layers when I get this thing together. I'll probably go through with an awl and try to make them a little bigger. I don't know. Lynn says, I think all makers struggle with storage because we have so much stuff to use for the next project. Yeah, you know, that's a big thing. As I look around here, if I only had tools and equipment in here, you know, it wouldn't be that bad. It really wouldn't. But like you said, we all, you know, you can't make something if you don't have materials on hand, right? If you don't have a piece of leather, if you don't have a chunk of plywood, a couple of 2x4s or whatever, you can't just come out and go, oh, I need to make a thing. So you go and you make a thing. Then you come out here and you're like, oh, I need to make a thing, and now you have to go to the store and you have to get supplies and you have to get wood or materials or whatever. But when you have the ability to keep some things on hand, it makes so much stuff a lot easier. But it does give a big challenge. It takes up a lot of space. I don't have tons and tons of material because I don't have a lot of space, but I do have pretty much some of everything. You know, wood and different materials. But yeah, it does. If we had a separate storage shed, that'd be kind of cool, just for materials. Mr. Doughboy, hello everyone. What's up? Welcome. Poor Conservative says some people will use a fine drill bit to enlarge holes cleanly or a long taper awl. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I've seen people drill, but man, that sounds tedious. You know, I guess you do your the little stitch roller thing to lay them out and then drill everything. Whew, sounds like a lot of work, but it might be worth it if it doesn't take you 400 hours to hand stitch. Harry Dude says benches and machinery on wheels so I can move them all around to suit what I'm working on. Yeah, mobile would be great. I don't have room to move things, honestly. At least I feel like I don't. Maybe I'm sure there's room for improvement for me. This is not completely ideal, but I just try to think how else I could lay this out and still have things mobile. You know, this toolbox takes up a lot of space, but if I didn't have that, I don't know what I would do with the tools. I surely don't have enough wall space to do like a sweet tool wall kind of stuff. Like this whole wall would be like it'd be packed. I don't know. Mobile is a good idea if you have the room to pull things out. I 100% agree. 100%. Mobile. Lynn says I'm with Harry Dude. Mobile. Yeah, I am. Lynn, exactly. Spur of the moment projects when your creativity strikes you. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. You know, you want to make something. You've got to have the stuff. What I find, I write a lot of stuff down, lists of projects and things, and you know that kind of stuff you can sort of plan. You know, okay, and you know next month I want to make whatever it is, and you can, you can order and plan ahead. But there are some times where something will lead to a project right out of the blue, and that's when you want to be able to go out, grab a thing, and make it. And that's where having some stuff on hand. Now, it would be awesome, and this is something that I'm trying to do, but it's taken a really long time. A year, 2 years ago, I got some of those metal, scored these, they were free really, but metal cabinets, like parts bin cabinets. And, so I've been slowly, as I'm cleaning something, you know, if I end up with a few hinges, like I label one of the little drawers hinges, and now I know hinges are in there. I've got some that I'm laying out for bolts. At some point, these bolt bins up here are going to be converted over to those little drawers, and that thing will come down. But just having a spot where you can store things. I've got a drawer for springs. Like if you saw the chainsaw mill video where I ended up cutting the little spring deals, like I just went to that drawer and I'm like, oh, there's some springs in here. Found one that would work. And, having a way to organize things, whether you get some bins like this or whether you make some wooden bins, something like that. Screws. Like I've got screws right up here, but they're still in the boxes. So I kind of want to have like a spot, for stuff like that, just so you can keep them on hand. Then when you're at the store getting supplies for one thing, maybe you can grab a little pack of extra hinges or something. And slowly over time, you can have a few things on hand. This just came up in another podcast I was listening to recently. What podcast was that? Where they were talking about having on hand. I think it was Making It podcast. I believe it was. They were talking about that same thing. Gina says there's a few inches to move things. Yeah, not too much, but a little. Poor Conservator says I use a 2, 3, 4, and 6-point stitch stamp to set my stitch holes. No roller. Oh, stitch stamp. I don't have a stamp. All I have are I'll scribe my line around the edge and then just start punching. And I have the 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. I don't know. GP says, I think if I built a lean-to off the shed and moved the mowers out, I'll be good. One mower is a riding kind. Oh yeah, so that one takes up that's going to take up a fair amount of your workspace. Yeah, I have I can't put a mower in here anyway. I'll have a push mower way in the back over there. But a riding mower, the poor thing sits outside covered with a tarp because I don't have anywhere to put it. So, yeah. Lean-to would be kind of cool. I wish I had a lean-to off the back. Might have to come up with something. Especially now that I've been getting some milling, doing some milling. But it's covered in sawdust like an inch worth. Poor Conservator said the forks equal stitch stamp. Oh, really? Huh, interesting. See if I can spill everything. Yeah, they're buried. Huh. Yeah, I've got the same kind of, well, probably different kind, but. Well, guys, my coffee's almost done. Got some sirens going by. Hope everything's all right. We get a lot of sirens that go by here, man. Anyway, I think it's about time to wrap this up. I got to get back to my leather. See if I can get some contact cement down. Get a couple pieces of leather stuck together. Maybe get a stitch or two in. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But guys, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I am glad to be here. Glad to be feeling in better health. Because that last week was pretty rough. Anyway, guys. Oh man, GP says see y'all next week. Oh, Tim just popped in. What's up? Glad to be here. I like to move my saws out on nice days as well. It really cuts down on dust in the shop. Yes, it does. That's why I like to do it. Plus, I love the fresh air. And it seems like when you're outside, you don't I still wear safety glasses and stuff, but it's not as big a deal with the respirator because if you can work with the breeze. I don't know if that's OSHA compliant practice right there, but anyway, yeah, it's really good. Lynn says, have a great day. Thanks for the BS session. Lynn, thanks a lot for joining us. Gina says, later all. Yes, next week, next Wednesday, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. We'll be live on Facebook next week. Thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you're not familiar, you guys know I alternate. So this week's YouTube, next week Facebook, then YouTube. So we alternate every time. I try to keep the same channel. Try to keep the same day and time. Sometimes that'll change depending on if I have a weather delay or something and I need to adjust that due to the school stuff, but otherwise it's 9 a.m. And Harry Dude says, stay safe, folks. Cheers. Poor Conservative says, Jeff, take care, young man. Thanks, my friend, for the advice and assistance. Tim says, I'll go back and watch the live stream. Have a great day. Phil says, see y'all next week. God bless all. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. Have an awesome awesome weekend, and we'll see you all next week. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you.